everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Dos Cavalsos. I'm Anthony.
I'm Casey.
And today we're watching a movie trailer.
I know, we haven't done a trailer
so long. Yeah, mostly because 2020's been on pause for the majority of the year.
Yeah.
But we have the Batman with Robert Pattinson or Robert Pattinson. I was always intrigued when they cast him for this particular role. I wasn't a big fan of Ben Affleck. I know that might be controversial, but that's just me.
Yeah, if you've been following us for a while, you know how Anthony feels about Ben Affleck.
I'm a big Marvel fan, but growing up, Batman was my favorite superhero. I thought that the universe of Batman was still so intriguing. They had so many good villains too. And I've always wanted a Batman movie that mimicked the Arkham games. Casey's never played the Arkham games, but I was a big fan of them. And I loved how they incorporated all the villains and how they just kind of were there already. They were established in this world and we didn't have to necessarily be introduced to a new villain. Mm-hmm. And they just popped in, popped out. And I really loved the idea of that.
So I've said this for a while, but I feel like Robert Pattinson is extremely underrated as an actor. Mm-hmm. I feel like Twilight kind of put him in this box, and now people just associate him with Twilight. And whether or not you like Twilight or not, you think of Twilight. But I think that he actually is a really, really good actor, and I'm excited to see it. How he portrays this, because obviously we've had so many Batmans throughout the years. We actually just rewatched the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah. And that was awesome. So it was kind of funny the timing of this, but I'm excited to see how what this is like. What's the feeling of it? I feel like it's going to be similar.
Well, I think I've read somewhere that it's going to be kind of focused more on the world's greatest detective aspect of it, which is interesting because they haven't really shown a movie where he's just obviously he is the world's greatest detective, but they haven't really shown a movie where that's necessarily demonstrated all the time. There's certain aspects when he's discovering things in movies and whatnot, but I think it'll be really interesting if they play on it more for this particular movie. And I want to say about the costume, because I did see the pictures of the costume when they released that, I think either beginning of this year or late last year. I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but I'm also holding back my judgment until after I see this trailer. A lot of people can have that judgment call based off of what they first initially saw. Way back when people were kind of questioning Heath Ledger when he got cast as Joker, and obviously he gave a legendary performance. I feel like some people did about Joaquin Phoenix too, not as much. But then obviously when we saw Joaquin Phoenix portray the Joker, amazing, it was amazing. Yeah. I have high hopes for this particular movie. Also, the director of this movie, I believe, is the director of the Planet of the Apes trilogy, which I love that trilogy. So I'm really excited to see what he does.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I wonder if it's going to be similar in tone to the Dark Knight trilogy, but also obviously we don't want it to just be a copy of it, just another rehashed version. So I think that they're going to do something different, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm really curious too if this is going to be connected to anything, because I believe I read somewhere saying that this Batman isn't going to be in the DCEU, which I'm not quite sure exactly what they're doing with that, because I saw somewhere that Ben Affleck's coming back to reprise Batman too in the Flash movie. So I'm just I thought he was quitting, so I'm not quite sure there. And then I also said I'm not the biggest fan of Ben Affleck, Bat Affleck, all the bat puns. Or I think they called him Batflick or something like that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Not a big Batflick fan.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it.
No more lies.
From your secret friend. Who? Haven't a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you.
The Riddler.
Any of this mean anything to you?
You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
Whoa. Is that?
Catwoman.
Ah, awesome.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
are you supposed to be?
Oh my god!
Oh shit! Oh.
I'm Vengeance.
Oh shit! Not on Batman.
Interesting Batmobile.
This guy's crazy.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
We haven't looked up anything about like castings
Yeah,
or
we don't
whatnot,
know.
but I remember hearing some stuff last year about how they were going to cast several villains in this particular movie. I think I remember hearing that the Riddler was one of them. We obviously saw a lot of clues to that with the question marks. I think that's going to be very interesting to see a darker representation of the Riddler, because the Riddler that we have so far in like movie portrayals is just Jim Carrey. And you could debate whether you like Batman Forever or not,
Yeah.
but Casey's never actually seen that one.
Yeah, I've just seen like memes and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I actually never seen the movie.
I really want to see this portrayal of the Riddler, and I want to see how that really plays with the world's greatest detective. You know, obviously the Riddler leaving clues for Batman to find and like decipher, I think is going to be really interesting. And this movie looks like it has those same dark tones that I
Yes.
really like when they lean into for DC. I feel like DC is at their best when they lean into the darkness, where Marvel's more, I don't say Marvel's campy, but like Marvel's more upbeat more times than not, but DC keeps it dark, and I like their aspects of when they keep it dark.
So I like Robert Pattinson's portrayal so far, even
Yeah.
though we haven't really seen much, but he seems like he has emotion and, you know, like the
Are you
darkness.
trying to say that Ben Affleck doesn't have emotion?
But like there's something different
Yeah.
about him in this instance. Even than Christian Bale. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's just like, I mean, I loved Christian Bale's Batman though, but just like, I don't know, something about him, there's just like something more raw, and I'm kind of really interested in that.
I was really intrigued when Robert Pattinson was cast. I think Ben Affleck, even though I've talked crap about him in this video, his portrayal of Batman, I wasn't my favorite, but I thought when he was actually Batman and he was like beating people's ass, I thought that was really cool. I just didn't really like him as Bruce Wayne. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm more at with
Yeah.
Ben Affleck. But I don't know. I just really am intrigued by Robert Pattinson here, and I just really want to see what he does. This trailer's first indication. I have high hopes.
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
have hopes. I'm pretty sure that Catwoman was
I didn't even
Kravitz's daughter, right?
Oh,
Zoe Kravitz?
Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah, Zoe
Oh,
Kravitz. Yeah,
cool.
I'm pretty sure that was her.
we haven't looked up the cast list. I didn't even know if like she was gonna be a part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I had no idea. I went in completely blind. I feel like you knew a little bit more than me.
I only kind of saw like the cast. I saw a couple
I mean,
things.
Robert Pattinson, obviously, but
I saw a couple things about casting, like
Yeah.
either early this year or late last year. So I kind of remember that, but like not anything specific. But like I said, I do remember them saying multiple villains,
Yeah.
but I didn't necessarily know what that meant.
I love Catwoman. I've always loved
Mm.
Catwoman, so I'm like super excited.
This movie looks like they're portraying her as like a beginning stage of
Yeah,
Catwoman
yeah,
too,
like the
because
cat burglar.
So yeah, her mask was more of like a ski mask.
Yeah, just seeing like Robert Pattinson's kind of like portrayal, the vulnerability of Bruce Wayne, you know, which there is he has a lot of pain. He's gone through a lot in his life,
Yeah.
and I feel like getting to show that, you know, as Bruce Wayne, not necessarily as Batman, because like Batman's almost like a different person in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just like really cool, and you could just see it on his face, just from like that little last moment at the end. So.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing that they could do, I'm not sure if they're going to play into this as much, but kind of like what they did when they revived Spider-Man with Tom Holland, they didn't really touch on like his origin story, because, you know, we've seen his parents get shot and killed
Uncle
a lot
Ben.
of times, and we've seen Uncle Ben die a lot of times. I think something that they did really well was they kind of like hovered over it, but they didn't really like lean into it as
Yeah.
much. And I think if they do that for this particular movie, I think that's really good, because
Yeah.
you know, you could see his parents die one or a million different ways, but I think, you know, playing into the aspect of him in his prime and like going up against these top villains, I think is what I've been looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
So I hope that they do play in with that.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.